She left without leaving a number. Said she needed to clear her mind. They sell us the fairy tale, the cowboy and the pop star. Blake and Gwen saved each other, right? That's the story they want you to believe. When you put 2 and 2 together, you figure out love's got 4 letters. But there is a third side to every story. Last night, Miranda Lambert finally told hers. No interviews, no PR statement. Just a guitar and a message that shattered the happy couple illusion. We're looking at a web of heartbreak that destroyed 2 marriages and trapped Kelly Clarkson in the middle of a family war she never saw coming. Why did Miranda wait almost 10 years to pull the trigger? And why is this specific song the key to unlocking the truth? Watch closely. The lyrics she changed explain everything. Rewind to the mid-2000s. Blake Shelton and Miranda Lambert were the golden couple. Country royalty. If you were a country fan then, you remember a 2005 concert where sparks flew so hard you could practically see them. Here's the catch. Blake was still married to his first wife, Ket. But the connection between him and Miranda was like a freight train. Nothing stopped it. Within months, Blake filed for divorce. By 2006, he and Miranda were the official item, and the world loved it. They were young, wild, and madly in love. It felt real, not like a Hollywood setup. They married in 2011 on Blake's ranch. Miranda wore her mama's wedding dress. Blake cried. It was perfect. But nothing is ever as perfect as it looks on a magazine cover. Behind the smiles, cracks were starting to show. Long tours. Tabloid whispers. They kept a brave face and kept singing love songs, until the summer of 2015 changed everything. By then, Blake had been a coach on The Voice for years, the show's king. Sitting a few chairs away was Gwen Stefani, who was living through her own public humiliation. Her husband had been caught up in a scandal involving their nanny. Gwen was shattered, showing up to work trying not to cry on national television. She was vulnerable. And Blake was there. The timeline gets sticky. In July 2015, Blake and Miranda announced their divorce in a short, cold statement. Thanks for the memories. We are moving on. Fans were stunned. Barely 3 months later, Blake and Gwen went public. 3 months. You end a massive marriage and 90 days later you're parading a new romance with a pop superstar. It felt fast. Too fast. Imagine being Miranda then, watching your ex-husband flaunt a fairy tale romance on the biggest TV show in America while you sit in the wreckage of your marriage. It had to hurt. People asked, was there overlap? Did they get close before the papers were signed? We may never know the exact dates, but the internet has theories. Miranda stayed mostly quiet. She wrote songs, sure, but she didn't go scorched earth, until last night. Now the third player, Kelly Clarkson. What does she have to do with this? Everything. Kelly was a coach on The Voice too, sitting next to Blake and Gwen as they fell in love. She was married to Brandon Blackstock, son of Narvel Blackstock, Blake's longtime manager. These weren't just friends. They were family. They spent holidays together. Their money and careers were tied. When Kelly filed for divorce, it got ugly fast. She revealed years of misery. Feeling trapped, used, and financially taken advantage of. There were lawsuits and accusations against the management, the very inner circle tied to Blake. Kelly was working beside Blake on TV while her personal world was collapsing. She had to smile, make jokes, and act like everything was fine. That takes a level of strength most of us don't have. Artists don't suffer in silence forever. Miranda didn't trash Blake in interviews. She poured gasoline into her songwriting. Tours became emotional marathons. She sang about cheating, liars, and reclaiming strength. Fans noticed breadcrumbs, a changed lyric here, an eye roll there. Gwen, meanwhile, fought her own narrative battle. Half the world saw her as a victim who found love. The other half saw her as the other woman. People forgot Gwen had been cheated on too. Ironically, Gwen and Miranda shared pain. But because of Blake they were pitted against each other. And Blake. He somehow walked away clean, the lovable country uncle on TV, the funny guy with the cup. He charmed his way out of drama while the women carried the labels. Crazy, bitter, scorned. We all thought the drama was dead and buried. But last night, in a quiet barn, Miranda Lambert decided she was done being polite. She picked up a guitar, took a sip of wine, and lit a match. She played Happy Anywhere, Blake and Gwen's lockdown anthem about how nothing else matters as long as they're together. The chords were familiar, but Miranda didn't sing the words Blake and Gwen wrote. She flipped the perspective. Every time the original says, you, Miranda sang him or her, turning a love song into a story about a man telling the same lines to the next woman. It was genius and cold. She smirked, not a happy smile but a knowing smirk. I know something you don't. When she reached the parts Gwen usually sings, Miranda stared straight into the camera. The sarcasm dripped from her voice. Vows became a joke. 3 minutes of acoustic guitar hit harder than any diss track. At the end, she tagged Blake. The video was deleted almost immediately, but screen recordings exploded across social platforms. Millions of views. Hours of replay. People lost their minds. Why now? Blake and Gwen have been married since 2021 and seem solid. Miranda is remarried and appeared at peace. So why drop a nuclear bomb on the past? Here's one theory. Blake has been doing interviews lately, painting his time with Miranda as a dark mistake he escaped, rewriting history by framing the marriage as something he had to survive. Imagine hearing that about a decade of your life. Maybe Miranda got tired of being the villain in his redemption arc. If he was going to rewrite history, maybe she decided to rewrite his songs. Where does Kelly fit in now? Kelly is thriving, a juggernaut talk show, powerful new music, a rebuilt life. She's more guarded and keeps her circle small. The bridges to Blake's inner circle are burned. But when she opens up, you feel the weight of what she went through. She survived a divorce that aimed to destroy her finances and spirit, and she came out on top. 3 women. One messy web. Miranda fights with fire. Gwen pours love into healing. Kelly succeeds and moves forward. Blake is the common denominator. Still charming, still beloved, seemingly bulletproof. But when the cameras go off, does he think about the wreckage? The bridges that burned to get him where he is? Miranda forced us to reconsider the messy truth. The reaction online is split. Some call her petty and bitter. Others call her iconic, saying artists have always used pain for art. If a man did this, would we call him bitter, or a genius? The double standard is real. This isn't over. You don't drop a video like that and expect silence. Blake and Gwen haven't responded. They're probably hoping it goes away, but the fans won't let it. Comments are flooded. We're all waiting. Will Blake speak in an interview? Will Gwen post a cryptic photo? Will Miranda drop another cover next week? Maybe one of Gwen's old breakup songs? If you've followed this saga from day one, whose side are you on? Team Miranda loving the chaos? Team Blake and Gwen hoping for peace? Or Team Kelly glad to be free from the drama? Drop a comment below and tell me what song you think Miranda should tackle next. Make sure you hit subscribe, because if anyone responds, we'll cover it immediately. Catch you in the next chapter.